Yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Mark D. Jensen, guilty of intentional homicide of the first degree as charged in the information.
Mark Daniel
Look, he didn't even have no real emotion. He just said, he didn't even say anything. He did that shit.
Jensen was found guilty of his wife's murder in February of 2008 and sentenced to life in prison.
If this case ever comes back, I'll try the damn thing again because Markjensen.
YouTube, it's your girl TT Shanell, and I'm back with another reaction video. Might be talking a little funny, y'all. Got my liners in, driving me crazy, so don't even judge me on that. Now, you click the title, you read the page. Some dude done bodied his wife. This was like in 1988, something like that. We about to get into the clip real soon. And yeah, they convicted him for it, and now that conviction was overturned, and now he about to go through a whole retrial. So we about to get into this clip and kind of like catch up, and then we gonna get into some other clips. Hit that subscribe. Let's get into it.
She told me that if anything will happen to her, that give the envelope to the police. She was afraid that he put something in the drink.
If Mr. Jensen had talked about harming his wife, is that something that you would have remembered?
Absolutely. Mark was standing.
Mr. Jensen had talked about harming his wife. Is that something that you would have remembered?
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie, he looked like he did it. Like he got one of those serial killer type looks, and don't act like that ain't a look, because it's definitely a look.
Mark was standing 5 feet from her casket, laughing.
You see? That sick, twisted, he kind of looked like Dama a little bit. I don't know, but like that. Maybe it's the glasses. Could be the glasses, I don't know.
Joking and acting like someone's at a cocktail party.
That's when he said he rolled her over and just sat on her back and pushed on her neck into the pillow.
Do any of these findings suggest to you that this was a suffocation death?
Not really.
What did she say to you?
Well, she was scared that she was going to die.
And this happened in, hold on, I got y'all right now. Babe, how you say it again? And this happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. See, I had to ask my shorty because she's from there. So, you know, the way y'all cities is set up, I'll be trying to pronounce that for days. I ain't even going to try to say it.
That was 2008, right here on Court TV. That man, Markjensen, was convicted of murdering his wife. That conviction was overturned. He's now being tried once again. And Court TV's Michael Ayala has this.
And you see, this is where your tax dollars are going. I don't understand. If they already said he did it, why we gotta open it back up? Let's get back into this clip, though.
Story.
Is it my understanding that you have reached a verdict? Is that correct?
Yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Mark D. Jensen, guilty of intentional homicide of the first degree as charged in the information.
Mark Daniel
Look, he didn't even have no real emotion. He just said, he didn't even say anything. He did that shit.
Jensen was found guilty of his wife's murder in February of 2008 and sentenced to life in prison.
If this case ever comes back, I'll try the damn thing again because Markjensen belongs in prison.
And the case did
Oh, it was 1998.
come back. After years of legal battles in the Wisconsin Supreme Court, Jensen was granted a new trial. Only this time, it would exclude a letter written by his wife. And prosecutor Robert J. Boyce kept his word, returning to prosecute Jensen a second time for the killing of his wife.
The idea of a hung jury just stuck sideways in my throat because then there's no closure for anyone. And after almost 10 years, there had to be some closure.
Jensen was convicted on evidence that included a letter from his wife, Julie, who wrote before her death, "If anything happens to me, Mark would be the first suspect." Now, a new...
Dag, now, see, if they gotta do the whole retrial over and they take that letter out, I want to know, like, what they going to do to prove that he did it. But you see, that prosecutor was like, listen, I'll try him again. So let's go. Like, he's 100% sure that they got the right guy. So this definitely going to be one to keep up with. Let's get back into that clip.
Jury will hear the evidence against Jensen, but his wife's letter cannot be introduced this time around.
She had the envelope in her hands, and she said if anything happened, I should give this to the police.
The reason why the letter is the source of numerous appeals is because Mark Jensen's attorneys are not able to cross-examine Julie Jensen, who wrote the letter, because she's dead.
The prosecution claims Jensen killed his wife with antifreeze in order to be with his mistress. Prosecutors argued his internet search history provided evidence that he was looking for ways to make Julie's death look like a suicide.
Do you remember who started complaining about whose wife first?
And you see, 9 times out of 10 with something, like whenever you hear something about a man killing the wife or the wife killing the whatever, vice versa, it's always because they was cheating and they wanted to start a new family. All as motive.
You know, I think it really was Mark. Mark told me if you wanted to get rid of your wife, that you could go to websites that would tell you how to poison your wife, how it would not be detectable.
Jensen's attorneys argue
that make you not want to get married for real.
Julie was depressed and killed herself and framed her husband out of spite.
What was your understanding as to why Mrs. Jensen was coming in to see you?
She was very upset, and it seemed like she was there because she wanted some help. She was upset enough that I gave her medicine and strongly encouraged her to seek counseling as well as to follow up with me.
A case that began 25 years ago will have one final day in court, with 125 witnesses expected to take the stand to determine whether Mark Jensen murdered his wife back in 1998.
She died in 1998. He was convicted in 2008. It was overturned, and here we are in 2023 trying the case again, but without that letter. But instead of the letter...
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like even without the letter, the confidence in that prosecutor, let's get back into the clip, but I don't feel like that letter, not having a letter, makes a huge difference.
Prosecutors introduced something else. It's a manuscript written by the defendant himself while in jail. Amazing. Here's the problem that he has with the manuscript is that in it, he references the letter that now can't be used against him. It's referenced in the manuscript. So I guess the jury will kind of know about the letter now.
Okay, so he kind of screwed himself over. Because, hello. Let's get back into it.
Unbelievable. They don't catch the smart ones, folks. But there's another part to this manuscript, and that's what I want to talk about here, is that there's other information that he writes in this manuscript that really puts his wife in a bad light. It's kind of like, dirtying up the victim, but it's evidence being put in by the prosecution. Included in this manuscript are some lines written by this defendant alleging that his wife wanted to be a surrogate mother for his brother, for her brother, but wanted to get pregnant the natural way, without a petri dish. Did you follow that?
So basically, the wife wanted to smash the brother. And this is what the husband was saying. Okay, so basically, he's trying to victim blame or victim shame, make her out to be a thotty body bop. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she probably allegedly killed herself. That might be his argument. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, if you ask me.
He's writing down the manuscript that his wife wants to carry her brother's child and get pregnant the natural way.
Her brother. I thought it was his brother. So basically, he's basically saying that his wife was on some incest type vibes. Okay.
Not with a petri dish. Let's bring back to the think tank. Charles Middlestat, Molly Palmer, Noah Pine still with us.
Yo, shout out to Court TV, man. Yeah, drop your comments. Let me know what y'all feel about that, man. I'm going to keep y'all posted on this because now he got the retrial going. They just did, I believe, like opening statements. I don't really care too much about the opening statements. I want to get down to the nitty gritty when they really start getting into the evidence and all that good stuff. So hit that subscribe. I'm out.